this is it, the very last Oris Diver 65 you'll ever see. The final chapter in a story that started almost 60 years ago, when Oris first dipped its toes into the world of dive watches. What you're looking at isn't just steel and loom, it's the closing note of a melody that's been playing since 1965. And when the curtain falls on this model, that's it. No encore, no reissue, no second chance. The Diver 65 goes out the way it came in, quietly, confidently, and on its own terms. Think about it, an icon of modern watchmaking, discontinued. The end of an era you thought would never close. This isn't just another model quietly slipping off the catalog, it's the kind of decision that rewrites the story of a brand. For years it's been a fixture on lists, in collections, in conversations between enthusiasts. You saw it in shops, in magazines, on forums. It was always there, like a dependable anchor. And now, suddenly, it's gone. Final chapter, full stop. That permanence you thought it had, turns out, it was borrowed time. The Oris Diver 65 wasn't just a diver, it was a bridge between eras, between worlds. It took the soul of the 1962nd, those slim cases, those bold dials, that effortless cool, and rebuilt it for today. It wasn't a museum piece, it was a living, breathing watch you could wear every day. Vintage charm, but with modern reliability. It also walked another tightrope, accessible luxury and real enthusiast credibility. This wasn't just a watch you bought because it looked nice. Collectors respected it, beginners loved it. It carried that sweet spot where design, history, and price actually lined up. And that's rare. And now it's gone, retired, finished. The last Oris Diver 65 has rolled off the line. But here's the twist. This doesn't feel like an ending, it feels like a setup. The kind of move a brand makes when they're clearing the stage for something bigger. So the question isn't just, why did Oris kill the 65? The real question is, what are they hiding up their sleeve next? The story begins in 1965, when Oris rolled out their first serious dive watch. It was a product of its time, a slim stainless steel case, bold numerals that practically shouted through the dial, and a crystal so domed it caught the light like a drop of water. This wasn't just a tool, it was a statement, a diver that didn't try to mimic anyone else. Jump ahead half a century, 2015. The Diver 65 makes its return. But this wasn't a reissue for the sake of nostalgia. Oris wasn't trying to chase vintage hype. They built something that carried the DNA of the original but felt alive in the present. It wasn't the toughest diver out there, and it definitely wasn't the cheapest. What it had instead was character, texture, that rare thing most modern watches lack, soul. The kind of watch that looks like it already had stories to tell before it ever touched your wrist. Collectors noticed. Word spread fast. Suddenly, the Diver 65 was everywhere on lists at dive bars, in boardrooms, and across forums, where watch nerds can spend hours dissecting rug shapes and moon plots. And maybe you noticed too. Maybe you tried one on at an AD, or a friend let you strap those on. That dome crystal? The way it warps light, bending the dial into something almost liquid. You don't forget it. For some people, not alone was the hook. Here's the thing. The Diver 65 was never about specs. 100 meters of water resistance? Most brands would laugh. But Oris wasn't chasing saturation divers, they were chasing feeling. That warm patina loom, the vintage case profile, the way the bracelet draped like something from a thrifted 70-second dream. It was about character. People wore this watch to the office, to the beach, to weddings. It was a diver you didn't have to dive with. And in a sea of ceramic bezels and helium valves, the 65 stood out by being unapologetically human. So why kill a watch that people still adore? Here's the unromantic truth. The movement. Oris has been slowly shifting their lineup into the future with the Caliber 400 series, their own in-house engine. And the thing is, the old 65 cases were never designed to house it. Think about what that movement means. 5-day power reserve. Anti-magnetic resistance strong enough to shrug off laptops, phones, even airport scanners. A 10-year warranty, double what most brands even dare to promise. That's not a small upgrade. That's a different league entirely. Meanwhile, the 65 was running Solitas. Don't get me wrong, rock-solid, reliable movements, but they're off the shelf. They don't scream future-proof, and they certainly don't match the story Oris is trying to tell today. And maybe, just maybe, this was about more than mechanics. The 65 had already done its job. It reminded the world who Oris was. It gave them a design icon, a fan favorite, a foundation to build on. But to keep it going forever? That risks turning a hero into a background character, an afterthought. Sometimes, the bravest move a brand can make is knowing when to stop. Better to let the 65 go out on top remembered, respected, than see it fade into irrelevance. The 65 leaves behind something bigger than itself. It wasn't just a reissue, it was proof of concept. It showed the whole industry that vintage-inspired design wouldn't have to feel like a cheap costume or a lazy callback. Done right, it can carry real authenticity, not just nostalgia. It proved that charm doesn't come from over-engineering or gimmicks. You don't need a helium escape valve to win hearts. What you need is honesty, proportion, and a story that feels true. And here's the thing. This watch became the gateway drug. For a whole new wave of collectors, the 65 was their first serious Swiss watch. It wasn't priced to intimidate. It wasn't designed to flex. It was approachable. And that accessibility pulled thousands of people into the world of Oris. Once they were in, many never left. But the real kicker? The 65 didn't just succeed on its own terms. It gave Oris the confidence to take bigger swings. Without it, would we have seen the bronze divers that patina with your life story? The Carl Bashir editions that married heritage with tribute? The candy-colored dials that flipped the idea of a tool watch on its head? All of those experiments trace their DNA back here. The 65 wasn't just a watch. It was a spark. And so the question, what comes after? My bet. A new diver. Built fully around the caliber 400. Same vintage nods, but sharper, tougher, more future-ready. Oris doesn't bury icons without planting seeds for the next one. Maybe it won't just be a successor, it could be a statement. A watch that says, we've honored the past, now let's carve the future. Imagine the 65's DNA, those slim lines, those retro cues, but reforged with the kind of engineering that can stand shoulder to shoulder with anything in the modern dive watch arena. That's the natural evolution. Maybe the new piece will replace the 65, or maybe it will stand beside it as something entirely new. A twin-line heritage on one side, next generation on the other. And that's the beauty. Whatever Oris chooses, collectors will one day look back at the 65 as the pivot point. The moment the brand stopped being just a heritage storyteller and became a modern force. Because here's the truth. Every great chapter of watchmaking starts with a watch that dares to shift the narrative. For Oris, that watch was the 65. And when the next one arrives, we'll all remember exactly where the roots were planted. If you own the 65, you're part of that story. If you didn't, you'll remember the legend anyway. So, what's your 65 memory? Drop it in the comments, I read every one. And hey, subscribe if you love watches with real stories, because the next chapter from Oris might just blow us away.